Well, we just watched Challengers, and I, for one, am very excited to talk about this thing. So we'll have a lot more to say in just a second.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another I'd Popcorn for That review. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And we are talking about Challengers. So this is the newest film from director Luca Guadagnino, who previously did Call Me By Your Name and Bones and All, a couple movies, I Am Love, but a lot of kind of an unknown cast here besides Zendaya as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, what is this movie about roughly?
So Challengers is about a tennis player turned coach. Tashi has taken her husband Art and transformed him into a world-famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she signs him up for a Challenger event, which is close to the lowest level pro tournament, where he finds himself standing across the net from his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend.
Yeah. So, man, it is a lot more than just about tennis.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that right now. Yeah, I was surprised because, even though I knew going into this that this is going to be something that I'm interested in just because of the director that's attached to it. And Zendaya is always interesting,
Yeah.
But it is hard to get your head around the idea, for me anyway, of being interested in a tennis movie.
Yeah, and that kind of put me off of it initially, seeing the trailers. I was like, I'd like him as a director, but I don't know that I care about tennis enough to watch this.
Man, it's just it's such a complex, prickly little story, and there's nothing simple about it, and it just made for something that was a really enjoyable experience from front to back for me. I don't know, how did you feel about this as on the whole?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, man. I thought the story was really good, especially coming from the writer, who I've only seen one thing by that I told you about. It's a video from 11 years ago, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen.
And we're going to show a clip.
Hello, potion seller. I am going into battle, and I want your strongest potions. My potions are too strong for you, traveler.
Could have put a clip. And the whole time to myself, it's like, I'm thinking of that video, it's like, my tennis is too strong for you, Challenger. You can't handle my tennis.
You must be looking for a weaker tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a strange little background behind the screen. And it's also the husband of Celine Song, who directed Past Lives.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and I think this is kind of different territory for Luca Guadagnino. I mean, in a sense, it's not that crazy because it deals with relationships and the prickliness of all that, but it's different in a way too. And I liked that he chose, you got Zendaya is the star here, but I like that they got two people who were in my mind unknowns. I didn't see West Side Story,
right?
And I think there's just not a lot else that these guys have been in. So in my mind, this is a fresh set of faces, and I just thought it made for just some really compelling storytelling, and also the way they use tennis. So it's a non-linear storytelling device. So you're being bantied around back and forth between 2006 all the way to I think 2019.
Yeah, I think that's current day.
But you're getting tossed back and forth almost like a tennis game. You know what I mean? It almost kind of keeps your head going left and right.
Yeah.
Because if they had told this, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been as good of a movie if they had told this in a linear structure, but the way they give it to us, the way they feed it to us, I thought made it a lot more compelling and interesting, because you're seeing and you never. They did things with not the costume design necessarily, maybe the costume design, but things with the music and things with the haircuts on people and the facial hair on people and stuff that made you really. I never had to question what year roughly it is.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of making them seem younger in the past and everything.
Yeah, so it really is. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like they made him work out extra hard to look the part of the older versions of them or something like that. But they did a good job with that, and it never left me confused about anything. But the big thing around this whole thing, not to give too much away, is this love triangle that starts out you know, when they're playing. I guess it's like a team
It's like
tennis
the
kind of thing.
it's like the Junior U.S. Open, yeah.
Hmm. But they're playing together,
yeah.
and then they meet this Tashi character. The actors, by the way, Zendaya, Mike Faced, and Josh O'Connor. But they meet her, and they're both immediately attracted to her, and it immediately turns into this thing like, well, I mean, we're both after the same girl. Like, let's just see what happens. And man, who could have thought that would like kind of upturn both of their lives forever, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, it's pretty interesting how it could have gone either way. Because the whole situation becomes they're supposed to play each other the next day, and one of them's kind of like, "I'll let you win. I don't care about this." It'll like because he's like, oh, "My grandma's in the hospital. She wants to see me win." He's like, "Sure, I don't give a shit." And then she's like, "I'll give my number to whoever wins tomorrow." So then it's serious now.
Yeah, and she says multiple times like she doesn't want to be a homewrecker, and it's like, well, we don't live together. We're not brothers. We're not whatever. You're not gonna be a homewrecker. But
yeah,
I mean, things do get a little hairy there because
she's kind of not the most likable character.
You know, I think everybody is complicated. I think there's things about her that are not likable, but yeah, it's hard to pin her down exactly because I think she is sort of probably unfairly living her life vicariously through her husband as a tennis star. Mm-hmm. And you know, when this injury happens, that's kind of when everything turns around because this injury happens on the day that her and the other guy are dating, and this injury happens and they have this fight, and so he's not there at the thing, and this kind of gives an opportunity for him to swoop in and be like the knight in shining armor and save her and everything. You know, I don't want to give away everything in the movie, but it is it left me not being able to predict exactly how things are going to go. And when I say that, I mean to the last second. I did not know how this is going to end exactly. Like I couldn't figure it out, and I can't give away the dead ending, but the ending to me was just so satisfying. It was just like, that's perfect. There was no fat on that at all. It just ended right when it needed to, and out the theater I go, and it kind of just left me on a high note. Like it kind of left me in the theater buzzing a little bit because it's just like, man, that's a solid movie right there.
Yeah, man, I felt the same way. I definitely walked out with a smile on my face. And I do like it. It is a fairly serious movie, but there's a few moments of comedy in there that made me laugh pretty hard.
There's such different personality types too. Like the two guys. None of it's really all that simple. But like one guy has kind of all the confidence in the world, but it's like he knows he's not really a great guy. He doesn't like he's kind of full of himself, but he doesn't have any like delusions of grandeur either. He's just like, yeah, this is what it is. I hit balls for a living, and this is what it is. And the other guy kind of has a little bit of a complex about what he is or who he needs to be or what he has to be or should he be this for her? Does he need to, you know, and just figuring out his place and everything. And man, like I said, I just couldn't, I was like sweating at the end of this movie because the last, you know, the last few minutes of the last game are literally so sweaty.
Yeah,
that I
true.
like felt like I was hot. Like I'm like, man, this is a tense thing. And also the other thing is they do just about everything you could possibly do to film a tennis match. So like you've got people, you know, the people looking left and right, and you've got like the split. There's like a split. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like a split thing where you can see both of them at one time. You've got like things under the court where you're like seeing under the. You've got, what if we attach the camera to the tennis racket? What if we attach the camera to the tennis ball? What if we, you know, they really do like everything you could ever possibly dream of doing with a tennis court. And the other thing that I thought was really crucial to this movie's success was that thumping soundtrack, dude.
Yeah, man, it was good. Every time it kicked in,
that soundtrack.
Like it's kind of the same beat throughout the movie, but it's every time it kicks in, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go.
I loved it, and this is Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor again.
Yeah,
just showing out every time. They really don't miss very often, apparently. But great soundtrack, but also great score. But the soundtrack too was fun because it's showing you little snippets of like music that we all remember from like 2003 and 2006 and 2009 and 2000. So that was cool to see too, and it just kind of makes you. There was a lot of tiny little things that I noticed where I'm like, even the packaging on that is like that's like 2006 packaging for that,
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
just little things like that, I think, added some authenticity to stuff, you know.
yeah. Like the whole like Gatorade from early 2000s and like Doritos and Pringles and
Or
stuff.
rock stars.
Rock stars, yeah,
I don't even know. Maybe those are still around. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't have a ton of complaints, man. I mean, this is about as freaking interesting as I could ever find a tennis movie in my life.
yeah.
Um,
And it is very much a tennis movie, as much as it is like a movie about the relationship. Like they focus a lot on tennis.
well, and they say that, you know, like she's like, it's not about tennis isn't about hitting balls back and forth. It's about a relationship. You know, there's this relationship there, and I think that is a good like kind of one sentence summary of the movie is like,
Yeah.
it's not about tennis. It's about a relationship.
Right.
But man, I would be really shocked if you get to all the way to the end of this movie and you're not like just feeling like you really watched a movie, a full blown movie.
Right.
So what would you give it?
I'm going high, man. I'm giving it like a 9.5. I think it might be the best movie I've seen this year so far. That came out this year because I really did like Past Lives, but that came out last year, and it's by his wife.
I think, yeah. I think this is the best movie this year. I'll give it the same score as Dune Part 2, but man, right now there's things I like about this even more than Dune Part 2. It's very different types of movies, hard to compare. But man, yeah, 9.5 for me too. Just a really, really solid movie, and one that I'll watch again, and I think I'll get more out of
Right.
on repeated viewings.
Just watch it.
But yeah, 9.5, you should definitely check this out. So yeah, hope you like this video. Check out more of these. We got videos like this every week, and yeah, we will see you in the next one, guys. Thanks.
We'll see you.
I'm a OG boy. Know that the ride or die. I keep boys by my seat, boy. Know that the ride or die.